This video is about how to use Google Forms and just kind of show you some of the basics of what you can do with Google Forms, how you can have it set up to automatically grade the responses and get you started with that. So I'm logged in here to my Google Drive. I'm just in a folder that I created, how to use Google Drive Forms. So I'm just gonna, two ways you could do this is you could click new and then go down to more and choose Google Forms. They have this purple icon. Or you can right click and choose more and do Google Forms, and it'll create a new one for you there. Either way. And if you wanted to learn about the new Google Forms, you can take this tour. So let's click this and see. It's going to show us how to add a question with this tab. We click next and it's going to show us we can change the theme or kind of how it looks and that sort of thing. Next, you can choose the settings gear icon up here, is especially useful for enabling the quiz features. The responses tab will let you see all your responses. You can see a summary of like if you want to get a snapshot of how the whole class is doing, you can see that, or you can see individual students. So that should get you started there. And then I'm just going to jump in and start making some questions here. So this is called Untitled Forum, so I'm just going to call this History Lesson 101, and I think it changes the name up here too. Yep, so then it saves it in the top left-hand corner with the name, and you can add a description here, and you start out with, they put one question in the box for you. So we have some questions here that I populated as an example, and so I just asked, who's the first president, and I gave these answers. And I'm not sure, maybe this is new, I don't remember seeing it before, but apparently you can add a picture now. So I added this dumb picture of this cat here, but you can, if you want one of your questions or one of your answers to have a picture associated with it, you can hover over it and use this picture icon here, and just type out your questions. And this one's a multiple choice, but as you can see down here, what are the Google Form question options? There are lots of options you can use: short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes. You can change all that. I changed this one to checkboxes, and the next thing I show here is inserting a picture. So I have a picture that shows all of those checkboxes here. So to do that, I just added an image, and it let me select an image and it inserted this picture onto the screen here below this. And you can move things. So let's say I wanted to move this up. There's these little tiny 6 boxes here. I can drag that and then slide it right up above here. So then somebody coming through, they would answer the first question, then they would see this image which shows all the question options, and then they would answer the question, what is the Google Form question option. So they kind of give them a hint or give them something to look at. And then you can also insert videos. You can add a section. So I came down here, this is how I added the section. I made a new section here. You'll also notice like this blue bar on the left here is kind of important. That's the one that you're actually working on. So I can keep scrolling up and down, but the one that I'm working on is the blue bar. So that's the one where it shows up with the options. I can duplicate the question if I want to repeat it again, or I have one I want to duplicate it and then kind of make some few changes. Delete. You can make the questions required. They won't be able to go on if you check that box. If they don't answer the question, they won't be able to go on. You get more options. You can add a description. So I can say this is not meant to trick you. And I don't know if I spelled all that right, but just that sort of thing. You can add descriptions. And so yeah, there's just lots of cool stuff you can do with how you form the questions and build them and make the Google Forms. The other thing you're going to want to take a look at is the eyeball up here. If you move up to the top, you can click the eyeball, and it's thinking about it. What's it doing? Let's try it again. Click the eyeball. It should open up in a new page, and it's going to give you the so you can see what it would look like to somebody who's actually taking your quiz. So these check boxes with the picture, I didn't add pictures for these, so it just left those blank. And then the picture I loaded, and then I can check these. I could go next to get to my next option, which I didn't even put a question in there. So that's how you can preview it. And then I want to leave this page unanswered. And then the settings is really important. You can do all kinds of different things. You can say only people at Westfield can use it, so that would require them to sign in. You can collect their email address so you know who it is that's doing it. You can limit to one response, or you can let them edit later, or do that multiple times. You can let them edit after they submit. You can let the respondents see what the other people answered if you want to let them see that. When you do the presentation, you can show them a progress bar. I kind of like to do that so they know what's going on. The way I use it, I don't want to shuffle the question order. I want to keep that together, but that's definitely a useful option, especially if you're giving out tests and you want to help prevent cheating. You can have an option to show them a link to submit another response after they're done if you want to let them do that. Then you can go to the quizzes. If you turn this on, it will make it a quiz. You can fill out all these types of things depending on what settings you want. But let's save that and let's go back and do the quiz. So now it gives me this answer key. I can come in here and I can check and say all of these are correct answers. So it will feed off of that to get the answers. And I can say this question is worth 5 points. I could even give answer feedback. So I could type in if they get it wrong, I would type in and say, you need to look at page 53 or something like that. And then if I say that if they get the right answer, I would say, great job, something like that. So you can let them know what is going on. I guess actually time is a correct answer too. So let's fill that out. So that's how I made it into a quiz. The other thing you want to look at is the responses up here. So when you're in responses, yes, it's turned on. It's accepting responses. And you would just see all the responses would get filled out here where you could view them in the Google form. You can check this box to get emailed every time a new response is created. So that's kind of good to do. And the other thing you might want to do is select a response destination. So that would let you send all of the responses into a Google sheet, like an Excel spreadsheet. It's just a Google sheet, and then you could see them all in that format as well and use them in various ways. So that's important to be able to get those responses in Excel format. And then the last option is if you want to send this to people, you would come up here to the send button, and you have some settings you want to do here. So if you want to keep it to specific people and know who they are, you might probably want to check this box and say automatically collect their username, so you'll know who submitted the quiz for you. You can email it to people. You can send a link. You could put this link and post it, or you could any of those kind of settings. You can embed it on a web page. So definitely options as ways to share it here. And then you just click send, and it would send it out and get you all set. So that's kind of the the basics of what Google Forms can do. Lots of great options there, and it really works great as a training tool. So that's it for now.